How is it going, guys? We have made it out to Sema this year for 2024. We're gonna be taking a look at some Gr86s, BRZs, maybe some GR Corollas and Supras. Let's see what we can find. Right outside of Central Hall, we have run into the Aero 404 Motorsports wide-body Gr86. They actually just officially revealed this kit yesterday on their Instagram, and I ran into Seth and Brad, and they let me know that unfortunately not every part of the kit is currently installed on the car due to some time constraints. 60 days ago, this car was completely stock, so to have done what they've done to this car is pretty damn impressive. They have swapped out the motor, they worked with K-Tune to get this K swapped, and obviously installed the new wide body kit. So let's do a quick walk around and see how this thing looks. On the front of the car, we have, of course, the carbon fiber front lip. It is carbon fiber, but it's wrapped in gloss black right now. There is an opening under the center portion here, and then of course it flows into the bumper extensions on the outer sides of the bumper. This kit gives me big GT3 RS vibes with these air channels here, carbon fiber again, and then it flows into these massively aggressive over fenders. Over on the side of the car, we have a bit more carbon fiber for the side skirts. And like I said, there's a few missing pieces. There's supposed to be a carbon piece that comes up, extended from the side skirt to close up this area, as well as a cover for the vent behind the door here. But I think they've done a great job with the whole design of the kit. It flows together very well once the other pieces are on here as well. This body line here flows all the way across the side and ends at the tail light here. It's super aggressive, and I'm so happy to be able to actually see this kit in person. On the rear of the car, they do actually have a trunk spoiler and roof spoiler. That is a part of the kit, and you can get these items individually as well if you'd like. Obviously not currently installed on the car, but those installed are gonna help round out the kit and just complete the overall aggressive wide stance that this kit gives the Gr86 and BRZ. This is the new Toyota Celica GT4 ST225. Okay, obviously I'm kidding. This is clearly not a Celica, it's just a Gr86, but not just any regular old Gr86, because if you take a look inside the engine bay, you'll be greeted by a G16 3-cylinder turbo engine that came out of a GR Corolla. An engine that some people think should come in these cars instead of the Subaru Boxer engine. And not only that, they've retained the drivetrain, so this thing is actually all-wheel drive. They wanted to build a fully functional rally car and pay tribute to the Celica GT4s of past, and you can see they've done so with the livery and the styling, and everything is built to spec. The cage, the rear polycarbonate window, the full-size spare and tools in the trunk, and these tarmac rally tires that they actually had to source from the UK because they couldn't get them here in the US. They even threw on some old school style light pods to round out the whole look. In the rear, we're met with this gorgeous spoiler, again inspired by the Celicas. And then we have this fully straight piped center exit exhaust that exits out where the license plate usually is. This is a beautiful work of art, and it's already one of my favorite things that I've seen at the show here this year. But let me know what you guys think. Is this something that Toyota could and should pursue in the future? Right next to the rally-inspired Gr86, we have the Hakone edition here. This is my first time actually seeing this color in person, and it looks better in person than just looking at photos, I'd say. It is certainly different than on the previous gen. It's not as pearlescent. At first, it seems kind of flat until you get up closer, and then you can see a slight bit of pearl, and I'm sure it looks a bit different when it's outside as well. We've got bronze wheels, Sachs dampers, and of course the Brembo big brake kit all around. On the inside, you get the leather and ultra suede interior. So essentially you're getting a premium Gr86 with the performance upgrade and then a special color and badging. Over at the Cusco booth, we have another Gr86, of course sporting all of the Cusco catalog, so braces, control arms and such. But it's also got the full Grow design aero kit. So we have carbon fiber front lip, side skirts, rear diffuser, spoiler as well. And then on all four corners, we have these over fenders that are very subtle. So if you aren't looking for anything too crazy, but you want to change it up, this is an option you can go with. They also have these carbon fins here that flow into the garnishes on the front bumper that I haven't seen before. Again, unique look that isn't so common here in the States. And it's also sporting the Fujitsu AR exhaust. I haven't heard that in person before. I'm really curious to see how it sounds. Have heard really good stuff about Fujitsu, of course, but this car looks great. Super simple and clean. I love the white and the satin black accents they've got going on. Let me know what you guys think. We're over here at sort of a collaborative booth with a couple different JDM brands like Xeno, Resal Japan, and Cool Racing. They've actually got a bunch of cars that they've imported directly from Japan just to be at this show. They actually have 3 different Gr86s that we need to take a look at. We're gonna start with this one right here that has the full Xeno GT spec wide body kit on it. This kit definitely gives off GT vibes. Just looking at the body lines and how they flow from front to rear, it just looks like a super aggressive race car. It's an 8-piece kit, including the carbon fiber hood and the swan neck wing. It's also sporting the HKS turbo kit that I have been eyeing. I never thought that I would actually see this kit in person. I've seen photos of it floating around on the interwebs, but to actually see that they have imported these cars from overseas, I'm super happy that they've got these cars here. Let's check out the other 2 cars and see what else they've got. Now, if the whole wide body thing isn't for you, I know it's a bit out there, it's not for everybody, but they also have an aero kit that's a lot less aggressive, but still retains the same design language from the GT spec kit. So if you're looking to change up the car a bit, definitely look into this kit. It's such a super clean and simple kit that completely changes how this car looks. This car is also running the same GT spec hood from the other car that we just saw, but with a different carbon fiber wing. This thing looks amazing. It's not too crazy. This is a perfect street build. I know I just gave you the whole spiel on how wide body kits are not for everybody, but this is another one of the kits that I did not think I would see at the show. This is the Resal Japan wide body kit, and pictures do not do this thing justice. It looks so much better in person. And the thing I love about this kit is that it's not just over fenders. They actually have replacement front fenders, so this replacement bumper flows perfectly into the fenders as well as the hood. It looks like a completely different car, and it has such an aggressive stance to it. The deep dish T37 bronze wheels look amazing as well. And then in the rear of this car, let me just show you the rear of this car. It is nuts, and I would expect nothing less from a build like this that came from Japan. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I've not seen this much exhaust underneath or stick out of a car. They even have cutouts on top of the bumper to expose some of the exhaust. This is an RUI exhaust system. We've got full tips here in the center. I'm very curious as to how this actually sounds. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. As I was filming the B-roll for this car, the owner actually came up to me and said, "Give me a second." Popped open the trunk to reveal his audio and airlift setup. The attention to detail when it comes to these JDM builds is just crazy. Take a look at this. Even the RUI logo on the exhaust pipe lights up. It's nuts. Over at the Raise booth, they always have some fantastic builds. We've got a GR Corolla here. Definitely want to add one of these to the lineup, but this particular one has the Veris Aero kit installed. One of the first things that caught my eye as I was walking past is this Veris hood. I absolutely love how this adds such an angry and aggressive look to the front end of this car, and how they raise the front edge right in front of these vents here. And of course, I'm also a huge sucker for this checkerboard carbon that we see all around the car. It is stunning. On the back of the car, we have, in my opinion, one of the best spoiler options that are currently available on the market for this car. They've done the perfect job of following the body lines of the car and the roof line of the car to make something that's not overly obnoxious, but very sleek and aesthetically pleasing that complements the rear end of this car. This kit would be at the top of my list if we were to modify one of these. But also, since we're at the Raise booth, let's check out the wheels. Of course, being at the Raise booth, this is the reason why this car is here. It's rocking the new 57NR wheels. These definitely remind me of a C28, but the spokes are a little bit more pronounced. They're available in 2 different colorways. We've got the bronze here, and they're also available in the glass black. Over at the ECUTEK booth, we have Wayne's BRZ. We actually saw this last year at Sema, but it was outside of, I think, South Hall, and it looked a little bit different. It used to be orange. It did have the infamous Aero wide body kit on it like it does now, but he's completely redone the livery with this Coca-Cola livery that looks awesome. He's got the white T37s to match, and he's also rocking some Driven Media carbon parts. So Wayne, thank you for the support, but let's take a look inside this engine bay to see what he's got going on. Taking a look inside the engine bay, he has the HKS turbo kit installed. I think this is actually a 1st gen kit that he modified to make it fit on the 2nd gen, but he's also taken the intake manifold from the previous gen, had that polished along with the turbo kit, so he has a bunch of polished goodies in here to catch your eye. Seeing all these turbo kits installed on these cars makes me really jealous. I think we need to turbo the Gr86. What do you guys think? Right outside of Central Hall, we have Gerard's BRZ. This car was actually at either the Mackin or the Raise booth last year, I don't recall which one, but it still has the stunning Veris wide body kit on here with, again, the eye-catching checkerboard carbon. This is such an immaculate build. I love the Advan GTs. I'm a little bit biased, of course, but on wide bodies with how concave they are, it just fits so perfectly. He's got the Alpha Rex headlights up front and the full catalog in the rear, the tail lights, the trunk light, the 4th brake light. I do recall my one gripe with this Veris kit is the platform for the wing. It's just one big rectangle that sticks out to me. Maybe it doesn't bother you guys, but let me know. But other than that, this car is a 10 out of 10. We're outside the Maxxis booth where they have this GR Corolla displayed. I actually talked to Mike Kang at Counterspace Garage, and he gave me the full rundown on what all is done to this car. We've got a full SARD kit, so carbon fiber front lip spoiler, side skirts, GT wing, and hatch spoiler, along with these vented fenders that are fully functional. The 2 vents in the front now vent to 2 different coolers, one for the transfer case and one for the engine oil. This is running a Cyvex all-wheel drive standalone ECU, so there is no longer a limp mode or front wheel drive mode, and you don't have to worry about going into limp mode when you're out on the track or the transfer case overheating because it now has proper cooling. There has been a ton of attention to detail on this car to transform it into a proper track car, even though it doesn't look super crazy. We've got AP Racing big brake kit, Titan 7 wheels with Maxxis VR2 tires, and a bunch of other suspension components. Like I said, full track spec. I'm curious to see how well this is going to do out on track. They're going to do a short track campaign mid next year, so we're going to find out. Across from the Maxxis booth, we have Aaron's clean Gr86 build. I spoke with him a little bit. He told me what color this was, and I have since forgotten. I think it's some sort of frozen iceberg. That's probably wrong. It's essentially a satin white, glimmers in the light, looks stunning. And he's paired that with some matte blue Volk ZE40s, Dream wheels. I will own a set sometime. But he's sort of pieced together his own lip kit. So on the front, he has a Blitz front lip spoiler. On the sides, he has Exceed side skirts. And then in the rear, we have a SARD wing with TRD exhaust hole cutouts in the bumper so that he can run a quad tip Apexi exhaust. I love the quad tip look on this car, especially with the burnt tips. It just works with the white, and these clear Alpha Rex taillights as well. Perfect with the white. I'm not sure how these would look on my red car, but on white, it is perfection. Another car outside of South Hall is Shift Culture's BRZ that is rocking the Liberty Walk wide body kit. This is another one of those kits that you just can't help but stare at. The body lines are smooth and flow from front to rear. And also this paint job from purple to blue with the wheels to match, which is the perfect touch. I actually ran into the owner of Liberty Walk while I was looking at this car, and he was convincing me to install one of these kits on our Gr86. He actually gave me his business card, so we have this just in case we go down that route. But it's such an amazing thing to see more and more of these JDM brands attend SEMA to showcase these JDM spec builds. Such a cool thing to see. Right next to the Liberty Walk BRZ, we have another Subaru VB WRX. I've only seen a few of these, one other one inside, but this one has the OIRAM wide body kit installed that replaces those black plastic fender flares with aggressive wide over fenders. And this is my first time seeing any sort of wide body kit on a VB WRX in person, and I very much enjoy it. They didn't do anything too crazy. There's no overuse of vents or massive canards or anything like that. They kept it simple and clean, which is my preference. But let me know what you guys think. Does this kit make the VB WRX look any better or worse? Another car we've run into outside is Craig's BRZ, and he has one of the first Resal Japan body kits installed here in the US. So we've got the front bumper for the stock body, side skirts, rear diffuser, and the swan neck wing. He's also slapped on a race bred front splitter underneath that bumper. And if we move back here, he has the access parts of Japan fender garnish. That is the same one I have on my car that a ton of people ask about. And then another set of dream wheels of mine, some Volk CE28 ends. He's got a really nice color scheme going on with the DGM, very stealthy. Even the CE28 ends blend into this whole stealthy look. For lights, he has Valenti tail lights and another first in the US, the Valenti headlights. I have not seen these in person yet, just photos, but now seeing them in person, very sleek design and another great option that you can add to your Gr86 or BRZ. I think we've got Alpha Rex, VLAN, and now the Valenti headlights. Also, this car is running the Kone GTS coilovers. I believe this car was driven here, so that's great to see the GTS application out there and being driven on these cars. I know they are currently sold out, so we need to get more of these in. You guys should definitely give them a go if you're looking to get aftermarket suspension for your Gr86 or BRZ. We're over at the Beatsonic booth where the Apexi GR Corolla is displayed. This thing has a ton of JDM goodies on it, including the Tom's Racing Type TK Aero kit, which is the front bumper here, which has a front lip and these canards molded to it, the side skirts, and the rear wing, as well as some other carbon fiber garnishes and mirror covers and that sort of stuff as well. It's sitting on some Apexi N1 dampers with these stunning dash white TE37s. I will never not love the red and white combo. I may be a little bit biased, but it's so good. So good. Now the reason why this car is sitting here at the Beatsonic booth is because they have the amp that I've shown you guys available for this application. I've installed it in the Gr86, tested it on multiple cars, heard it compared to other systems, and it is such a huge upgrade. Some people don't believe me when I say that, but when they actually listen to it installed in a car compared to the stock system, it kind of blows their mind. It's such a simple install. If you're looking to upgrade your audio system and you don't want to go through the whole process of swapping out all of the speakers and the head unit, this is a no-brainer. And that is gonna do it for this year's SEMA show coverage. A lot of Gr86 and BRZ stuff, a little bit of GR Corolla. There were actually a lot of Supras here. I just didn't have time to get through all of that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. If you guys have any questions whatsoever or thoughts, leave them in the comment section down below. It's really exciting to see all these different brands and different parts that people are using for their builds. Each one is different in its own way, and it's got me really excited. The aftermarket support for this chassis is nuts. It's awesome to see. It's just like the previous gen. Hopefully it continues and we see more and more parts develop. Let me know what you guys think on the show down below. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.